Now let's get it started. Let's get it started.
Play ball!
Arsenal lost 2-0 in the first leg of the semi-final of the Carabao Cup. They lost that game against Newcastle at the Emirates. This is the second time Arsenal is losing at that ground this season. Okay guys, if you look at that game, Arsenal, they considered with the set piece. That's the funniest pass. They considered with the set piece. Isak, they didn't clear that line. Isak scoring that goal and God was scoring in the second half. This is an opportunity for Arsenal to win a trophy. Everyone can say a Carabao Cup is a small trophy and all that, but it's still a trophy. If you look at the lineup for both teams, they basically played their full 11, because those days people take Carabao Cup and play your second 11, but in this match they played their first 11, meaning that they are serious of this competition, but everybody's looking for a trophy. But Arsenal falling short at the Emirates 2-0. This is the second time they're losing against Newcastle. What is wrong with Arsenal?
The only two people who say that the FA Cup is not a cup are people who have never won
Carabao
it.
Cup too.
The Carabao Cup is not to be considered as a real cup. Are people who've never won it, and then people who feel that they can win other trophies. You know, last season Liverpool would have gone trophyless without that same Carabao Cup, and that's the only trophy Jurgen Klopp won in his final year at the club. So if you don't have hope of ever qualifying to win it, you can call it a rubbish cup. You can demean the value of the cup. If you've done it before and maybe this time around in no favor, you say no be cup, right?
But for Arsenal, they need that trophy.
Same as some people will also say that Community Shield is not a cup. People who lose it won't count it as a cup. People who win it, of course, put it in the trophy hall of the manager, because if you go check Sir Alex Ferguson's trophy hall, he did there, right? So I'm moving away from that bad belly matter now. Let's talk about Arsenal throwing away the first silverware of the season. A lot of people can come in here and say that Arsenal are in the running to win the Premier League, they're in the running in the Champions League, they're in the running in the FA Cup, you know, but starting the full 11 tells you that the mentality for Arteta is you win the one you have today before you hope of the one coming tomorrow, because that was the same mistake we saw Liverpool make last season. We are going to win 4 in a row, we are going to win 3 in a row, we are going to win the quadruple, treble, all those stuff. At the end of the day, it was one silverware last season. So for me, I'm pretty livid with Arteta with the way his team is. We've been crying for the better part of 6 months now that Arsenal are not where they need to be. They said Havertz is their goal scorer, is a striker. They see him as a striker, is not a forward. They said Jesus has been reborn. All the excuses they keep giving for not doing the things that they should do still keeps coming back to bite them. And I remember we said it on a podcast here not too long. We said that look at Arsenal's top goal scorers. Havertz on 7, Saka on 5, Martinelli and the rest who are in the forward line barely on 3 goals in the season. Look across the pond at the bumbling City. The top man there is on 16 goals. Look at Chelsea. Palmer is, I think, close to 10 goals or more. If you put yourselves amongst your compare, you see that your production goal-wise is one of the lowest so far.
Okay, no. So if you look at that game, what do you think Arsenal did wrong in that game? Because it's disappointing for Arsenal fans if you look at that game. As he said already, and I have said already, if you look at the lineup, you know that Arteta is serious for this competition. He wants a trophy because he's not there 5 years. He never see FA Cup and community
Shield. FA Cup is already arranged. Keep for that.
No, he has the FA Cup and community shield, which is okay. I think 2 community shields, which is actually not bad. But Arsenal fans, they are allowed talking about them winning something else.
In his first half season, because that season and half season, he came in
his
first half season, he won the FA Cup.
Which is
we know they count that 6 months.
That one concern you, they count. Did he start raining from that 6 months or not?
For our mind, the reason like that 6 months, that first 6 months in a trial period.
You deny yourself.
No, talk on the way it is.
You deny yourself because he started from that day he was given the job.
If new coach enter job December, you want to start at December, they count. When you know say that December, not be in team really do it.
We can't when you started.
You can't when you start. Simple and short.
But when you start on a new season, the pedigree of you building from that new season that summer will go no. Then when you start for December, will go no.
All this one are just you're beating around the bush.
Arteta start for December.
Go straight to the point.
First trophy by the end of the season. We clap for them. FA Cup against Chelsea. Lampard will not have anything. We clap for them that time. He move on. That season, he carry, community shield. Good result. FA Cup back to back, back to back trophy. You say Arteta don't come to rescue us now. Back to trophy winning days. And after that year, till now, second place finish.
Who carry Community Shield this season?
Last
Man
season,
City.
last season Arsenal do Arsenal for last
This
season.
is Man City.
Arsenal.
Now they tell you now after that, by Community Shield, the second place finish. Till now, we almost nearly did it. Now we don't need chop for Arsenal hand. And everybody will agree with me at this point. Say, if Arteta don't win any trophy this season, may they just let and go. Or unless they want win Community, may they finish second again. Then maybe they can't hope. Say, I thought as they finish second, Liverpool will win Premier League, win FA Cup. Then they will come play Community Shield because our second place now the only trophy be that. They will come win Community Shield again, which nobody want hope like that. You don't let Liverpool win the Premier League and the FA Cup and possibly a treble. But we no hope for that one. So we say Arteta don't try. But in try, not try reach.
Okay, let's talk about that game proper now.
I want to go into the game now because look at the lineup he brought in that game. It's not about I keep saying it to as coach will be we they see lineup, we they see instructions. But now the instruction where you give certain players for that same lineup, now we go use judge whether you give the actual lineup on the style of play to fit the team. And in this game, he took a risk, and the instruction he gave some players are not what he's supposed to give them.
How do you know the instruction they gave you? Which player?
The way they are supposed to play. Look at in the last game. Now look at it. In the last game, I want to tell you. I'm telling you from a tactical point of view. From a tactical standpoint.
Sometimes we look at some games in some perspective. We don't give credit to the next team. You can plan to attack a team, but the other team come with a different gameplay and it nullifies your own. You think that
that is where in-game. That is where in-game.
Watching it from outside, you will think that the coach didn't give the right instructions.
That is where the in-game.
The opponent actually.
That is where the in-game tactical plan. In-game, not the one you do in training and bring to the team sheet and do in dressing room. That's where in the second half, while you're talking, sometimes when players come to the sideline to take instructions. That is in-game plan. You call some players to the side and you give them a set of instructions. Do like this, do like this. This one is not working, do like this.
Okay, if after giving those instructions and it does not work because the other team are better than you.
That is the problem. Arsenal does not have the depth.
Okay.
I was saying, I said it looks like Arsenal does not have the depth to take out one player and bring in somebody else. Look at Saka was not available. Nwaneri has tried that position. He excelled well in the last game. Got a goal for himself. Perhaps he got a draw in that game, but he got a goal for himself. He picked up a knock. Now you play a throw sound there. Before that one experiment, you tried a Martinelli in that position. He excelled well. Why would you not in this game try a throw sound in that position?
I won't even say that Martinelli excelled well in that Brighton game.
He did well. Not against the Brighton game because he came in the second half after 180. But the game before that one.
Okay, now let's talk about the game that they consider from the top. Isak considering that Arsenal have their own problems everywhere. And defense they have sorted it out somehow. For midfield, probably let's call it a 60-40. They have tried with the midfield, but attack is where the issue is. The attackers are not scoring. Like John said last season, Saka was 10 goal plus, Odegaard's 10 goal plus, Martinelli 10 goal plus. Everybody was having 10 goals.
Jesus no reach 10 goals.
Okay, but most of their players had more. So if you combine all of them, it was enough. Enough goals. I think they scored over 100 goals, which was the highest the club has actually gotten in their Premier League history. But now, if you look at that game, they consider from a set piece. Sometimes, as I said, you can give say that Arsenal got it wrong, but Newcastle did their game plan very well and executed it very well. What do you make of that first goal? Especially that first goal, Arsenal did not defend that set piece very well.
The thing with set piece is that sometimes
he did, sometimes he didn't do.
It's not about sometimes he did, sometimes he didn't do. You have to also count on the reactiveness of the defenders who are there. Remember, we saw the scenario with Manchester United where before the three people who were guiding one man could react, the man had already put it in the net, right? So you need to be conscious of who and the positioning of the opposition team, and that's where what's his name, Isak was able to get the response or the rebound and was able to put it in the net. They were not. You can't execute a defensive strategy where you're defending a set piece to the T without having one or two mistakes, right? So in that scenario, I would just say that it was one of those scenarios where they couldn't get on the ball before Isak produced something from it. But if you put it in perspective with the season so far, they've been perfect when it comes to defending set pieces. So it's a one-off. You can write it off as a one-off. Don't touch anything on that defending set piece.
Because
if you touch, the more goals you concede from there will increase. So.
We go touch something for the set piece because if you notice, they're always getting the ball in the first try. in set pieces. If you notice, Arsenal always getting the ball in the first try. What if there's a loose ball? And that is what Isak pounced on.
The truth about set pieces is that once you lose that first header,
Once you lose the first ball, anything else can happen. So they always try to get the first ball. What if they did not work on who gets the second ball?
That's what I'm saying.
When everybody goes for the jump, some players are supposed to just sit down for the clearing.
The truth about the matter, no matter how your game plan, you will not you will concede from set
That's
piece.
the thing.
You
Just
notice,
limiting the amount of goals you concede.
How you notice that? For example, it's like saying that you have a perfect defense. Even if you have a Leicester, Maldini, or you think the best quality defender, they will concede goals. That's how football is.
They concede.
But if you look at that, I think Arsenal in general, set pieces, they are actually done well in defending it. Then they consider that second goal in the second half. But finally, guys, now if you look at Arteta, what do they need to do for them to save this season? Because it's looking likely that they are going to finish second and going away to Newcastle.
Second is not guaranteed because there's Nottingham Forest chasing after them.
Okay, let's leave second. Let's be prepared. What do you think they can do in the next leg of that competition? They are going away to St. James's Park. Do you think that they can put up some kind of performance or kind of miracle to win that game at
in December, before this game, in December they played against Crystal Palace and we saw a different lineup. I know before this game I said it, if Arsenal will bring up a different lineup, different from the first team 11, it might shock Newcastle. You get, because everybody on the bench are looking for an opportunity to fight for the team, and you keep playing the first 11. The first 11, Newcastle already knows the first 11. They already know the game plan the first 11 might bring. So the only way they know is to hurt the first 11, know how to hurt the game plan of the first 11. But if you give a hungry side, a more hungrier side that is sitting on the bench, like fighting for game plan, like fighting for game, like who?
Like Sterling now.
Like the rest of the players on the bench. Now there's no keyword in this game. There's no players that could come in this game and fight for the team.
Wow.
They were not. See, I'm not saying.
I'm finding it flabbergasting how you are saying.
See, I'm saying it like, look at it. You know, starting 11. You know, sometimes bench they get a way of affecting the game. If you have a quality, it's not anyhow bench like
that's
just
the problem. So what are you saying? Now, Arsenal does have a quality
who are
bench.
the players on that
bench
Arsenal
that want
don't
to
get
fight?
depth too.
Jesus want to fight.
Arsenal does not have depth. Arsenal does not have quality bench.
Jesus wants to fight.
Let's not come in here and paint a picture.
I'm not
Who is coming in? Is it going to be what's his name now? Zinchenko? Is it
Zinchenko came in that game.
Is it Zinchenko? Is it Jesus?
Jesus came in.
Is it Kyria? Who are the bench? Who Arsenal already have the best possible defenders in that position. The only place Arsenal should have changed it up is in the attack, the front three they started with. For example, Jesus should have started, Alvaro should have come in the second half. But it is what it is.
You know what I noticed? If you have more of the ball with smart, creative players in midfield, you're not supposed to be scared of your attack.
Well, it depends on how you see it. I have seen.
That's what I'm saying. I am a coach. I see differently.
I have seen. I've watched Prime Barcelona.
Coach or whatever. That one is rubbish.
Definitely.
The thing about football is that you can hold all your football. I watched Inter Milan against Barcelona. Barcelona had 90% of the position.
That one is different. Don't use that one as example. That one is chain reaction. They call it chain reaction. Did you see that? You actually saw that game. You saw that even the last defender, his hand was holding the next person. It was a chain block. What we call it is chain block. Like everybody's hands were locked in. Okay. So there's no way to run in unless you run under the hand. Okay, it was a chain. You can't compare. That's not different. That's packing a box and a trailer at the same time. Newcastle
won that game 2-0. You know, the football can be sometimes if you get the tactics right, it looks like you are a wonderful
easy.
Coach.
When you enter pitch, you go know how far.
When you lose a game like this, everybody is trying to get on Arteta's head. But the truth about the matter that Newcastle played a good game. This is the second time they are beating Arsenal this season. Now they are almost one leg in the final of the CARABAO Cup because Arsenal is going to St. James's Park in the second leg, which is very, very tough. That is the first time they lost a game. Second time they lost a game this is at St. James's Park. Now they are going to, for the second leg of this competition, will Arsenal find a way to perform a miracle to qualify for the final of this CARABAO Cup?